All right, so we are live and recording. I am here today with Miracle Molly. And
Hello.
so Miracle Molly and I have worked together now for quite some time. She's with Cardinal Financial. It's funny, Molly, because I call you Miracle Molly basically out of habit because you've twice really saved a couple clients of mine when things fell through and you were able to get it done in a couple weeks. And then you're able to get people qualified that oftentimes have already been told no. So hence the Miracle Molly. It's kind of like some people think my last name is probably Handley Advantage because I'm always talking about the Handley Advantage. So it's like, it's your Miracle Molly. I'm Lisa Handley Advantage. And so tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the business.
Well, we appreciate the miracle advantage.
There we go.
Right? I like that. I like it. So I've been in the business since 99. I started out processing. So I kind of know I know how to get my sleeves into a file. I know the ins and out of it. And then I've been originating since probably 2003. So I have a ton of experience. I've been through quite a bit, and I've learned from a lot of situations. One of the situations that I've been running into a lot, Lisa, is when people are looking to get pre-approved and they don't want to have their credit pulled. Not having your credit pulled and getting pre-approved, it's not really a valid pre-approval. People think that if you have your credit pulled, it's going to negatively impact your credit. And if you have it pulled by credit card companies or auto loan companies, your credit's going to be lower within 30 days of having that credit pulled. But when you have your credit pulled with a mortgage company, you have lots of flexibility because mortgage debt is one of your best debts out there. So they don't penalize you for doing that.
Yeah, that's something and what point is it to even when your credit is kind of high enough that it really doesn't even matter if it dings it a little bit? Is there a point? Is there not a point?
I would say once you're above a 740, 750, it's not going to matter once you're higher than that. 760, really, you're going to get premium pricing at that credit score, and they don't look at your score after the point of 760. They're not going to say, oh, they're a 799 or 802. 760 is kind of the max. So
okay, see, that's good to know because I didn't know that either. That once you get to that 760, you're kind of a premium pricing consumer then. So that's actually really good to know. And this is why we do these things, because yes, Molly and I have these discussions on the phone all the time. So I work with a few different lenders, and so I'm always on the phone with my lenders asking questions. And so this is why I've kind of twisted arms a little bit to get these lenders on here talking about things like this, because the general public doesn't usually know that. And I always, when I talk about lending, I'm like, nope, you're going to talk to my lenders about that, because I am not an expert in lending. I am an expert in real estate. And yep, so I will always defer to the lender. Right. And so that is one. So 760, once you're there, I did not know that once you're there, you're okay. Anyway, so here's another issue and another thing that I thought we should maybe talk about, because we see this quite often too. And this is something that I had learned that I didn't really know about until getting into real estate and helping people buy and sell homes. Those of you that are so responsible and pay everything with cash and think that you are going to have fabulous credit because you've done everything right, that isn't the case necessarily. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I can. So establishing your credit is what is being looked at when you get your pre-approval done. So we look at your overall credit score, we look at how many trade lines you have, and paying for cash is a great thing to do. However, it doesn't show the credit bureaus or other people when they review your credit how responsible you've been. So the thing that you can do, and the thing that I recommend, is if you are passionate about like a points program, like for me, I love to travel. So I have Delta American Express because I love to see my Delta miles add up. So get a credit card that you can either get money back on, or that you can build points that you can put towards something you want in the end game, and charge it on that and pay it off. You know, a lot of people think that just because you have a credit card means you're going to be paying interest, but if you pay off the balance every month, you're not paying any interest. So that's what I would recommend, just so you can show that you've been paying on it on a monthly basis and that you show you have credibility. Lisa, I have a question for you, just back to getting pre-approved. So what would you say if you had somebody come to you that said, you know, I talked to my lender, they haven't pulled my credit yet, but based on the information they gave me, I am pre-approved. Can we go look for a house? In your real estate expertise, what is your experience with that?
Yeah,
Or what would you recommend?
in this crazy, wacky real estate season right now, we really want to see you pre-approved. We want that pre-approval letter in your hand, because if you fall in love with a home, with a property, and you don't have that pre-approval letter in hand, by time you get that pre-approval letter in hand, it may be gone, because homes are selling like this, lots are selling like this. And it's one of those things where we really need to have that pre-approval in hand. And COVID also does make a difference too, because in the COVID world, we as real estate agents and as sellers, we want pre-approved buyers going through the homes. So we really need to have that pre-approval letter. And I know it's one of those things that I work with clients all the time that they're just like, yeah, but I'm good. Yeah, but I'm good. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. But sellers actually, it will say in the agent statement, sellers require pre-approval to view the home. So it's not that we don't believe you. It's just the fact that it literally says in our agent remarks on some of these properties, if you don't have that pre-approval letter to show the listing agent, you're not looking at a home. So getting your pre-approval letter is legitimately like the first step that you need to do when buying a home. So people will call me all the time, and I'm always like, I'll set them up on a search for what they think they're going to be at, but we won't go look at homes until they get that pre-approval letter. I mean, it's huge. So we got to get that pre-approval letter out. And here's the myth of the pre-approval letter. Well, it's a myth, but it's some people's reality. And and my lenders, this is not a reality with my lenders. I'm just going to say this. My lenders are fabulous. Molly is fabulous and works nights, works weekends. It doesn't take 2 weeks to get a pre-approval letter.
No, not at all. It can take like 24 hours. I mean, yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So basically what I do when I take a pre-approval, I just go through the application, go through your income, your work history, what kind of liabilities you have. I try to get a goal of what your payment is. I do a little reverse math to figure out what you're pre-approved for based on that payment. And then I request your documentation. I just request that to ensure that there's nothing that I miss. Like sometimes people will have a 401k loan and that could mess up the whole deal. So if I get your pay stubs, I'm able to see that on your pay stubs. So I get your documentation and I issue the pre-approval right away. I let you know verbally that you're pre-approved based on the information that you gave me. This is where you're at. And once I get the documentation, I spit that pre-approval out right away. Send it to you, send it to your realtor.
On average, if they have all the documentation that you want. I mean, because that's part of it is as a consumer, you have to get the documentation into them. And that's on you. But if they have all the documentation they need, on average, how long does it take?
I can do it same day.
Really. So, and I've talked to clients who, before talking with you, that have literally been out there for 2 weeks trying to get a pre-approval. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can you please talk to my lenders? And you know, and the thing about it is we don't get anything for recommending lenders. I think there's that thought and that myth out there that, oh, they must be getting, you know, kickbacks, or they must be getting, no, we don't. All we do
is it's against the law.
It's against the law. And all we do is we just find lenders that we know, like, and trust. It's the same thing with looking for a real estate agent. You want to find somebody you know, like, and trust. And I have gone through lenders and I have just a few that I work with. And that's why I work with them, because I know, like, and trust them. I know that they're going to be there for clients on the nights. I know that they're going to be there on the weekends. I know that they're going to text me back if I ask a question. I know that no question that I ask them is too stupid. And it's the same for my clients. They're going to treat they're going to treat my clients the way I want. The way I treat my clients is with respect. We build relationships with our clients,
Yes.
and that's super important. And so if it's taking you a week to 2 weeks to get a pre-approval letter back, yeah, call me.
Call me.
Yeah, call Molly. Let's find you another lender, because it shouldn't take that long.
It
And
should not take that long unless it never should take that long.
right. And it just means that maybe you're not a priority. And we always, make our clients our priority. I guess that's the biggest thing.
Right.
One other thing I want to talk about is low credit scores.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we at now? Because again, 2020, it varied. So where are we at on credit scores?
That's a great question, Lisa. So there are lots of different programs. You have FHA, USDA, VA, conventional. The lowest credit score we can work with is a 560. You need to have 10% down with that credit score. So it requires a little bit more down, but 580, we can do FHA. We can, in some cases, do USDA, VA for sure with that score too. So we have lots of flexibility. Conventional guidelines require a 620. However, if you increase your score, you can build it up so you can take advantage of better pricing, because a 620, you're going to want to build your credit up a little higher. And that's another service that we do that doesn't cost you anything. I can take a look at your credit. I've been in the industry for 20 years, so I have a ton of experience with it. And we also have this program called Credit Expert, where I can let you know what you can do to get your score up by like 59 points.
The reality of
That's my partner in crime in the background opening the fridge. This is the reality. So anyways, yeah. So we have lots of programs. That's not a cost to you, and it's something that we're just able to do.
Yeah, and you are fabulous at that. And I can attest to that, because we have worked with clients for over a year getting people pre-approved.
Yeah.
And they've started. And that's again, that's a service that we provide, is that we actually will walk you through the process and help you get your credit score. Because I will say right now, FHA loans, it is hard right now with FHA loans because of the crazy number of multiple offers we're seeing. So if you can get up into a conventional, that's going to help you with your offers, and Molly can help you with those steps to get you there.
Right. And another thing that we can do is we can get you pre-approved FHA if that's where you're at right now. And then we can work towards getting you into conventional. So you can at least start looking with Lisa right now. And then let's just say you keep an eye on your credit and your credit pops up, and then we can change it to conventional. And that way you don't miss out on potential properties. So it gives you kind of the best of both worlds.
And so let's talk a little bit about fact or fiction. If you have a low credit score, but you're able to put more than 20% down, can you go to a conventional?
You could, but your score needs to be at least a 620.
So it's, even if you put a little bit more down, you still have to stay at the FHA, but you're putting more down, which does make it attractive for sellers to see that you have that money down. So that's just it. That was kind of a trick question. Way to answer that one.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Thank you. Rah, rah, rah.
Because it's one of those things, and I get that question a lot. Well, but if I put more down, then can I make it this kind of low? No, it really matters with your credit score.
Right.
Working on your credit score up is kind of a big thing. But if you do have some more cash down, it does make your offer attractive to the sellers, even with an FHA, if they see that you have a little bit more cash put down. So that does make it attractive. So a piece of advice for consumers looking at buying a house.
I would say don't take out any new debt. Get 1 to 2 opinions on your pre-approval, or work with somebody that you really trust, and understand your situation before you go out shopping, and understand your situation, like get pre-approved, because you really want to know. Like, you find a house that you love and you don't have your pre-approval in hand, that house is going to be gone.
And here's another tip on that, because again, these are all through experiences, and through experiences that Molly and I have shared. Be honest on your loan application.
Yes.
I see that. Because the lender will find out anyway. So if you have child support payments, if you have any kind of, they will find out. They're kind of magic back behind the scenes there. They're a little bit of wizardry of Oz back there. So they're going to find out. So just be honest, because then they can help you get to where you need to be, no matter what your situation.
Right.
They're there, and the lenders are truly there to help you get that loan.
Right.
So just be honest.
Great point, Lisa.
So, and like I said, through experiences, we've seen these. Is there anything about Cardinal Financial that you kind of want to talk about a little bit about? Because some people don't know, Cardinal Financial. What's kind of some of the advantages?
Some of the advantages. Okay, so I love working with Cardinal Financial. They're a great company. One of the things that I really love about them is they're very tech savvy. So we have a dashboard. Octane is the system that we work through, and we have a dashboard. The client, and you're moving forward in the loan process, you have a dashboard that will let you know where you're at with your loan, what documents you still need. You can upload everything on that website or onto that website. You can review everything, and it just gives you a status update. By no means does it take my position. I still keep you updated with your loan. I still give you calls and let you know where we're at. So that's really important. I want to make sure that you feel comfortable and that you feel like you know where you're at, but it's just a really good system to show you what's going on. Not to mention, we are the direct lender. So we have a relationship with our underwriters. So let's say there is something funny that we didn't know about or we caught later, like child support. Here's a great example. I had a gentleman that we were working with. He had child support. He had twin boys. They were 17. They were turning 18 next year. It was a pretty hefty child support payment. And we were able to get an exception because he was no longer going to be paying that effective next year. And there were some other compensating factors that were able to counter that situation. So it's really great to be able to communicate with our underwriters, and I really appreciate that.
And that's, to me, I think that's one of the big difference and why you've been able to become Miracle Molly for me.
Thank you.
Because you have that ability and you're local and you can work with your underwriters, and you're not just, the consumers, the clients that you work with aren't just a number. They're actually beings and people, and you care about them, and you want to see their happiness just as much as anybody. And sometimes when you have these online ones that, the lenders are not anywhere near Minnesota, and the numbers are so high because they're getting rapid fire of pre-approval requests. Working with somebody local is huge because you can talk to them, you can ask them questions. They're gonna Molly's going to actually care about your situation and listen to your situation and see if there's something that she can help you do to make it work. So getting a local lender is key. Getting a lender who actually cares about you and your situation is huge. And that's, where Molly comes in. So I have appreciated you, Molly, because we met right when I started out. And I was a struggling real estate agent at one point, and Molly really was there in my beginning and has seen my business grow and my success. And trust me, she listened to some of the dumbest questions because I knew nothing.
They're not dumb.
I know, but
Yes.
So it's just that's the kind of relationship you build with Molly and me. That's what we want for our clients, and that's why Molly and I, we get along and we work together on a lot of these, is because we have the same end goal, to make our clients happy. We have service hearts. We want to see you happy. We want to see you in your home. And, we become as proud as basically parents when all this happens. We just we love it.
I remember, Lisa, our first transaction, the client was working with actually a different agent, and she ended up switching to Lisa because she didn't feel that agent was taking good enough care of her. And we were waiting on one thing to update on her credit. And when we got that update on her credit, I mean, I still get the goosebumps talking about, it right now, but I'm like, guess what? I think I had Lisa on one phone and her on the other phone. I'm Like, we're there, we're good to go. So,
Yes. Yes.
that's such a good
Which
memory.
it is a good memory and will always
Yeah.
be a good memory, because it was fun, and that's the excitement that this can bring to you and to me and to the families that we help. So it's fun to the individuals that we help, and
Yes.
it's hard to explain how much we love what we do.
Yes, I totally agree.
All right, anything else that you want to share?
Happy Valentine's Day. Love one another. That's all I got.
Sounds good. And you take care of those beautiful babies of yours.
All right, stay warm, stay healthy.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for doing this.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.